New York Supreme Court is striking down a law that would have given non-citizens in New York City the right to vote in local elections.
Joining us now is one of the plaintiffs in that case, New York City Councilman Joe Borelli. Joe, this law would give green card holders the right to vote, and the New York Supreme Court agreed with you and said that that's illegal. What's your reaction to this win?
So it's a good win for democracy. It's a good win for citizenship. It's a good win for people who believe that you must be a citizen in order to vote in elections, whether it be locally here in New York.
Pretty basic concept.
Or really anywhere. I mean, this is something that Democrats haven't held back on, and many of them want to do this in other places around the country. This is sort of the first win that pushed back on this concept, and hopefully other municipalities and states and jurisdictions see the problem with this and decide not to go forward.
When we look at this as far as why you're able to win the case, I understand this really goes right against the state constitution and legislation.
Yeah, some states are actually trying to implement citizenship requirements for voting. It turns out that good old blue New York had already had one for generations, for decades, really. And the law is plain English. It says you must be a citizen in order to register for votes in all elections in the state. So I think this is one of those instances where Democrats thought they could throw something against the wall and hope it sticks. Unfortunately for them, we had some Republican judges in New York City who actually understand the law and can read and understand what the law actually means, and they sided with us.
What do you think the ultimate goal here was, though? Do you think that this was just one step away from allowing illegal immigrants to vote, and Democrats think that would work for them?
Yeah, I think this is a political play to increase the power base of certain ethnicities over other ones. A fun fact, more Democrats on the city council actually voted against this than Republicans. More Democrat votes voted no. I mean, these are people who also don't want to see their own representation in their own communities suffer as a result of empowering 800,000 people. I mean, 800,000 people is larger than most cities in the United States of America. And if you look at our voting rate, you would have seen at least 200, maybe 250,000 more votes for city elections.
Wow. So it would have made a difference.
So when you look at this, when you talk about who they could have voted for, the mayor, public advocate, comptroller, borough president, city council members, they really would have had a lot of say. We're talking about, I think it's 800,000 or more would have a lot of say in how the city is ran.
Yeah, and this is obviously a large city. We're bigger in budget and population than Switzerland. So these are real elections with real consequences. And certainly we don't want to allow people who are here, by the way, for just 30 days was the requirement, to have a say in our long-term debt, our liabilities, our pensions, etc. So it's a good win for, like I said, citizenship. It's a good win for people who are here legally and who are citizens of this city and state.
Speaking of elections, the New York primaries are today. Who do you think is going to win the Republican primary for governor? And is there any chance that person would beat Kathy Hochul in November?
Yeah, I'm supporting Lee Zeldin. I think we have two other good candidates, Rob Astorino and Andrew Giuliani, but I'm supporting Lee. I think he's going to be a great governor, and I think he has the finances and wherewithal to beat Kathy Hochul in November and save our state, and finally, really save our state.
All right. Joe Borelli, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Congratulations again.
Thank you.